Welcome to Orange and Blue football coverage. And normally we cover the Florida Gators football team, but being that it is the Florida Gators sports athletics, I think it's still good enough to be on this channel. Um, when it rains and it pours in Gainesville, it just does nothing but pour in bad news in the sense that Billy Napier is coming back next year, and that apparently Florida may have to look for another men's basketball coach next year after hiring Todd Golden 2 years ago. Scott Strickland, please get the hell out of Gainesville. But anyways, UF basketball coach accused of sexual harassment and stalking. Todd Golden, the men's basketball head coach, has allegedly made unwanted sexual advances towards numerous women on social media. This is a article that was written by Jack Meyer and Max Tucker of alligator.org, which is an independent Florida Gator athletics newsletter site. Florida men's basketball head coach Todd Golden has been accused by an undefined number of women for sexual harassment and stalking, according to the Title IX documents obtained by the Alligator. The University of Florida received a formal Title IX complaint on Golden September 27th, alleging that he engaged in various conduct that potentially violated the UF gender equity policy. In order to comply with the federal law, UF can't comment or confirm on any Title IX inquiries, complaints, or investigations, according to a UF spokesperson. The formal Title IX complaint against Golden obtained by the Alligator includes allegations of sexual exploitation, sexual harassment, and stalking. The complaint alleges that over a year, Golden specifically aimed these behaviors towards UF students. The claims regarding sexual harassment, which could also include sexual exploitation, cited sending photos and videos of his privates while traveling for UF, unwanted sexual advances on Instagram, requesting sexual favors, and on various occasions of stalking. There was allegedly more than one occasion in which Golden was taking photos of women walking or driving and sending those pictures to the subjects involved. Various stalking incidents also included Golden showing up to the locations where he knew the women would be. On allegedly more than one occasion, Golden was engaging women on Instagram by liking photos and then waiting until they read the DM before unliking them to avoid suspicion, which I don't even know how that's. I don't know how unliking them would avoid suspicion. I mean, I guess he's like using maybe a burner account, and maybe he was worried about there being a connection. I just don't understand how unliking the photo, if you sent the girl a message, would do anything. The UF men's basketball coach didn't respond in time for publication. The Alligator spoke with two separate women who attested to Golden's behavior and requested to remain anonymous for safety reasons. Since the investigation began, there was a small amount of action that was taken by UF, both women said. The first woman, a former UF student, said that Golden stalked her in person, both in his car and on foot, and that this occurred more than 10 times. On one occasion, she posted her location on her Instagram story, and Golden messaged her shortly after saying he was in that area and he was waiting for her. That might have been a test by her part. She also said Golden sent unlisted photos of his privates to her. On multiple occasions, the first woman said she received the photos while the team was traveling on the road. The nature of Golden's alleged stalking becomes more assertive over time. At first, it starts out slow, like, oh wow, that's odd. This guy's showing us attention, the first woman said. And then it becomes, wow, he's kind of crossing a line. No, he didn't mean it that way. Then wait, he's fully stepping over the line, and then it's wow, there's a picture of his. It was a full on grooming process with all of us. Both the first and second woman, first woman and second woman, both women, who's also a former UF student, corroborated that Golden liked her Instagram photos dating back to 2023, sometimes even older. Well, for his sake, if it was even further than 2023, I hope the girl was above 18, because if she's below the age of 18 here in the state of Florida, that's going to look even worse on his part. Additionally, they said he liked multiple posts at once, supposedly in an attempt to get the women's attention before going back and unliking them to avoid suspicion. He would go at such lengths about it. He would go back a year back and take 10 photos at once. And then obviously he followed up with a DM, always in vanish mode. Okay, so that makes sense. So if he's sending a message that's going to delete itself within about an hour or so, then it makes sense why that message would go away. Just really aggressive Instagram stalking is the best way to put it. Golden had been in contact with both women for over a year before unfollowing them, and after they were told UF began looking into his behavior this past August, they said. According to Snoop reports, a publicly accessible Instagram activity tracking software, Golden unfollowed 118 accounts on the platform between August 1st and September 1st. At least 20, if not more, of these accounts appear to have been young women without connection to the Florida basketball program or any other organizations that Golden had been previously affiliated with. The women separately confirmed that Golden had blocked them rather than unfollowed. The second woman said Golden told numerous women that they were his drug or his good luck charm before games. He had his manipulation tactic over everyone. He sent us all the same shit. It was copy paste to every girl. Both women also alleged that UF special assistant Ralphie Ferrari and UF director of basketball strategy and analytics Jonathan Saphir were complicit in Golden's misconduct and had knowledge of it. Neither of them were mentioned in the Title IX complaint. Neither responded for comment. The first woman said this misconduct goes beyond Golden. She believes that there is a culture of sexual harassment with Florida's coaching staff that has only grown since his arrival in Gainesville over 2 years ago. I think it's a sick effing joke that they're all doing within that organization. All the coaches, they probably get off showing each other the pictures. There's something fucking sick going on there. So that was the article giving great detail onto what is going on with Todd Golden. And I'm going to get on Scott Strickland first, but then I'll eventually turn this back to Todd Golden. Scott Strickland is proving himself to be one of the worst athletic directors in the nation, not even just in the SEC. The fact that you have constantly have hired bad coaches and they have either fizzled out or there's some controversy that goes along with it. You hired Mike White and kept him for way too long. You failed to help Dan Mullen give Dan Mullen what he needed in order to compete as UF's head coach. And granted, Dan Mullen did quit on the program mentally. I believe some of the reports that's saying that Scott Strickland did not want to assist Dan Mullen in giving him what he needed in order to compete compete in Gainesville. So Scott Strickland, dude, you need to go. You should have been gone about a year or two ago. But now with this situation here, that you announced that you're keeping a inept coach in Billy Napier, but you've somehow you allegedly covered up the story of a perverted basketball coach. You have just proven yourself to be a sorry athletic director. Now on to Todd Golden. I don't know if it's, to be fair, it is an accusation. There are two sides to every story. Well, three sides. The accuser's story, the accused story, and the truth. That's in the middle. But you, on the other hand, are putting yourself in a dangerous predicament when multiple women, this is kind of like the Deshaun Watson thing, there's not really viable proof that he's doing this. Well, I shouldn't say there's no concrete evidence, but the fact that multiple women are consistently coming up with the same stories and they're able to come up with specific times and locations in which you're allegedly doing what they're saying that you're doing, that is a bad look on you as a coach. And for UF, they should probably consider moving on from this guy maybe in the middle of the year, because forget about just the basketball team. As a university, how are you going to get students to come to your campus, athletes or non-athletes, and you have especially the female applicants, and you have a coach that is allegedly stalking women on that campus? How do you expect parents to allow their sons to play for that guy? And how do you expect parents to allow their daughters to go to UF if you don't make a move? Now, I'm not saying they have to fire him immediately. Obviously, there's an investigation that needs to take place, and then they need to let the process take part. And then if they see enough evidence, and they can fire him with cause. But as far as Todd Golden goes, dude, you just got a big opportunity to coach in the SEC in basketball. Granted, SEC is more of a college football conference than a basketball conference, but you had a great opportunity to coach in Gainesville for a long time, because it seemed like you're starting to. Sorry about that. Something just buzzed right in front of me. So you had an opportunity to do something big in Gainesville, and you might have just screwed it up because you couldn't keep your perversion to yourself. You couldn't keep it private. So good for you. Good for these women if they feel bold, if they have felt bolden enough to talk about it, and if they can get. And if, I believe in this article they said that there was like over 100 accounts. Okay, 118 accounts. So if they can track him with, dude, 118 accounts in 1 month span. How much time were you putting towards coaching the basketball team if you were doing that within that amount of time? It's just not a good look, and it's more bad news for uh, the Florida Gator for the University of Florida, both uh, in sports and outside of sports.